When we have the determination, we could even climb Mount Everest. Mahbubul Haque is known as Sir Syed of Northeast India. His achievements in the field of education are legendary and nothing less than climbing Everest. People describe him as being Sir Syed both in look and deeds. Today, we are honored to have him in our studios. Let's dive in straight for a discussion with him. Assalamualaikum sir, welcome to our studios. It's a pleasure to have you here. We have been writing a lot about you in Awaz the Voice, our news portal, but it's really a matter of pride for us to have you here. Let me straight ask you, sir, people compare you with Sir Syed. Are you happy about this comparison?
Actually, I don't know who have written it somewhere. Finally, when some people have mentioned in some occasions, then I found in the Google that one function was there. Many prominent Aligarhian have come in India Islamic Cultural Center when it is the midway of our journey. I think 2011 or 12 when we got our university enactment. So one judge was there and some people are there. Then I came to know that people used to call Sir Syed of Northeast. Certainly, I passed out from Aligarh, and if somebody is telling like this, so it gives the inspiration. Right. But we want to carry forward the message of Sir Syed in terms of Aligarh movement.
Sure. There is a big similarity between you and Sir Syed. Your look and outlook both match Sir Syed's. You've managed to successfully create University of Science and Technology. It's been now 14 years, if I'm not wrong, at a barren land. Tell us about your journey, how you turned down lucrative jobs when you passed from Aligarh Muslim University. You were even offered a job from King Fahd University, but you had a vision and you stayed with your vision all through. Tell us about it.
You see, during my, I was very fortunate that I got a seat in AMU for my study, especially in BSc. So I utilized my time fully, not only in getting good education or degree, but also I spent my time in terms of the evolution of entire history of Aligarh, that it was started at Anglo-Oriental College. I used to visit Sir Syed the hostel, this Jummah Masjid where his Mazar is there. So whenever I get the time, then I used to take a very old bicycle. I purchased 150 rupees there. So I used to roam here and there. Even the barren land behind the AMU, that part also I visited. So you see, and then during my 7 years time in AMU, I also got the opportunity to visit all the premier institutions of the country. Okay. Very few from south, but the north and Maharashtra, like IITs, I had visited. So I developed the kind of idea of institution building, because the Aligarh movement people today talks about is institution building. Sir Syed was the founder of this college, and it became the university later on, and today it is giving the birth of so many alumni, so many graduates, and spread it all over the world. So that actually the click point I must tell that it has given the inspiration to me to land in this particular the objective to start institution. And that's why I got a job from the Department Placement Division. My very beloved sir, Professor Bukhari sir and Asim Zafar sir, they mobilized the various companies for the placement. I got it, but finally I took decision, and I requested 2 of my classmates to go with me in Guwahati. So they accepted my proposal. They have gone there, but within 1 year they came back. One of my such friend who went to Guwahati with me, Mr. Zahir, he is the professor at Jamia Millia now. So it was a journey, and I must say the institution building, although it is in my mind that I have to establish the institution, but I learned everything from my journey of institution building, means from 2001 to 2023. So I went there in Guwahati. This is a different kind of story.
Right.
That I spent my time in Guwahati, lots of challenges, but I enjoyed a lot.
Absolutely. So you have this unique distinction of being AMU alumni. Well, many of AMU alumni have done very well for themselves throughout the world. They're in Americas, they're in Europe, they're in India, they're doing very well. But you have this distinction of carrying forward Sir Syed's legacy. That's what makes you distinct. You were very determined in your vision. What was your inspiration? For instance, why didn't you create a madrasa, and why did you think of creating a center of educational excellence?
You see, that one of my this kind of instigation was that I realized that probably we are lagging behind in proportionate contribution in this nation building process. Right. You see, when we study the past history, it's a very golden history that our people have joined in the kind of movement, freedom movement and everything. But successively, when I see that you have mentioned that Aligarh people have excellently worked worldwide. I have seen in Chicago, I visited a AMU alumni celebration in Chicago also. I have seen people have established many ventures, they are doing business, they are earning money. But this thing I realized that yes, institution building is lagging behind, nobody is taking any challenge. And another thing is that there is no cumulative effort. The people are not joining in this mission to carry forward. Yes, there was a time when Sir Syed took this challenge, but some people came forward to help him. But now it is a different kind of challenge.
Yes.
It's a different kind of challenge. You have to mobilize the resources. When I went to Guwahati, people were not ready to give a rental house to me. Because people are asking, who are you, from where you came, then how will you give the rental, so people were not ready. So I used to stay in the reception for 6 months time. Then another 6 months time I stayed at night to one of my friend who was also Alik. His father died. So for some time they went to their original house in the village. So they have handed over the key. So I stayed for 6 months. After 1 year I got a rental house.
This was I
am talking about residence in Guwahati.
In Guwahati?
In Guwahati, rental house, Assam type house, I got a rental house. And in that house I stayed 18 years. So just before 3-4 years I built my own residence.
Right.
So you see that nearly 11-12 years in the various rental buildings, we started a journey with 4 IGNOU students. And then we got the franchisee of Manipal. Then Manipal is like Aligarh, Manipal is one of the chapter. I have seen from the private sector that the way they have grown and they have multiplied their institution, and they're all quality institutions. So I took the franchisee of Manipal. I visited frequently. Our study center became the second largest in the country within 5 years. And I got 5 times award from Manipal. And Manipal ambassador was Anil Kumble. So I visited Manipal infrastructure, I visited their background, that how they have started. So that is another kind of inspiration that in the private sector people can grow.
Right.
So that is the combination of my study in AMU and visiting, then followed by Manipal. That gives me a different kind of idea that we can grow.
Right.
So that's why this is one of the things.
Right.
Second thing that it was probably in my blood, or it is my maybe kind of nature, that I always connect the people wherever I go. During my this 8-10 years time in Guwahati, I met most of the academicians and especially retired people. And one of the retired person, Professor Samudra Phukon, he is a Assamese man from Upper Assam. He was the former principal of a engineering college.
Right.
I took him as an advisor. Then slowly, we want to grow, and we established this foundation, Education Research and Development Foundation, which is the sponsor of our university.
Right.
This foundation I made him as an advisor.
In 2001, is it?
Yes. No. It is in 2006. It is 2006.
Okay.
I made him advisor when we have been running this successfully, our study center, Manipal. Then he said that, Haque, you cannot do the expansion in the state of Assam because lots of negative issues are there.
Right.
So he took me to the state of Meghalaya.
Okay.
So lots of students are working in the government as well as the university. He introduced me. Like, this boy is very brilliant. He's a computer engineer from Aligarh. He wants to do something. You will all help. So immediately by next month, I have submitted an application for NOC.
Yes.
So I got the NOC because I am a man. We are from the general community, and Meghalaya is a tribal state, so lots of obligations are there.
Right.
Then he introduced to the Nehu registrar, Professor Haque. Professor Haque, he was his colleague. So I introduced him that whether he can take affiliation from the Central University. At that time, there were 6 universities in the country who are empowered to give affiliation to the minority institutions, maybe from any other state. So I took affiliation for an institution established in Guwahati, but took affiliation from the state of Meghalaya, from Nehu. So this is the way that we connected with the university, Northeastern University.
Right.
So it goes on slowly.
So what is the status of your university? Is it a minority?
No, it's a simple university. Enactment has been made in the state assembly.
Right.
So it was enacted in the year 2008,
Right.
but we could not make it functional.
Right.
So in 2011, we started journey with 6 number of students.
Right. So didn't anybody ask you from our community that why aren't you making a madrasa? Why are you so interested in modern education?
You see, madrasa, it is there as per the requirement. It is everywhere. Madrasa education, although it is very much requirement, but madrasa education cannot give the livelihood. You see, religion is a very personal matter, and everywhere the basic fundamental things, I think in the all Muslim families, it is the parents' responsibility. They are giving all basic education to the Muslim children. Somebody to become more wise man in the religion, for that lots of madrasas are available. I don't think at that time, because being a computer professional, I thought that it is my area that I have to work because nobody is working. So I thought that there is a huge crisis in this field. So I entered without understanding many things.
Right.
This is my nature that I always consider the positivity. Right. So I thought that मुझे इसमें जाना है. I have to work in this field of education. So people have criticized. Still, I never say that people at that time criticized. There are many are visiting to my university, coming frequently, going. So probably they are feeling shy. बोले भाई उसको तो negative बोला था कि many professors they advised me, why you are not joining university? Lots of jobs are in the computer field. People are less, so why you are not joining? But I always have a smile. I ignored.
Okay, so that reminds us of Sir Syed, you know. People used to say so many things about him, and today, of course, he's revered, you know, he's looked with so much respect. Now, let me ask you that you used to assemble computers, right? You started with assembling some computers, and you brought some old computers from Aligarh Muslim University, where you must be working, and then you started assembling them and generating money for your educational, dreams. Tell us more about that. How did you get the money?
Actually, I purchased a computer. This present principal of Zakir Hussain Engineering College at AM, Professor Sufyan Beg. He introduced me one person because I was in the final year. I have to do the project, so he introduced one person who is dealing with the computer. So I purchased a Cyrix machine at that time. Intel, Cyrix, all these things are there. So I carried this computer to Guwahati. Then I admitted 4 IGNOU students to whom I was giving tuitions. But the resources required. I have a vision. I have my own objective. I have my own dedication and everything. But I have to mobilize fund. So I started assembling computers, purchasing parts from the shops, and I assembled more than 100 computers and I sold in the market to the very known people. And from that revenue, I managed my 5 computers lab. That 5 computer lab was my first lab, and considering this lab, we took the franchisee from Manipal. So that was the beginning.
Right.
But today, if I say it is a number of computers, it will maybe more than 2,000 computers in the campus.
Right.
We have not less than 10 laboratories.
Right.
We have every officers, every staff, they are having computers.
Right.
So that was the just beginning, and we have mobilized fund from the assembling the computers.
Okay. So that's truly remarkable, your journey from a computer to setting up a center of excellence. Tell us about your university, University of Science and Technology, where you are the chancellor. Tell us about the university. Which departments do you have? How many students are there? What are your future plans?
So say this university, we started with, already told that we started with 6 number of students and 2-3 branches. Right now we have 28 departments in the university.
Right.
All science programs, A to Z, all science, applied biology, then applied sciences, then microbiology, biotechnology, food science and everything. Plus we have a school of business science where MBA program is there. Then we have a few social science programs, then B.Ed programs, law programs, pharmacy programs, and this year we started our Ayurvedic college. So this is a university which is A grade by National Accreditation Council, NAC.
Yes,
we got, and this is the first private university which received the A grade, irrespective of state, central, or private universities in the northeastern part.
Remarkable.
Within 5 years of assessment, first 5 years of assessment. And next assessment will be held in the 2026, and we are working in this direction because we are weak. Being a new university, we are very weak in the research. Now we have strengthened our research. More than 100 patents already published by our faculty members right now.
They are of international standards.
International standard. We have this, you are knowing National Institute Ranking Framework, NIRF, by Government of India Education Department. They give the ranking to the university every year.
Right.
So we are, from last 2 consecutive years, we have been recorded as one of the best among 200 best universities of the country.
Right.
So हमारा जो rank है वो 150 से 200 है. So this is, we have right now 6,000 students. We have more than 300 faculty members, and we have lots of schemes launched for the underprivileged and meritorious students. We have a payback policy. Any students qualifying any national competition, we return the entire fees. Similarly, 15 to 20% of the total intake. If there are 100 seats, we give 15 to 20 of the total intake, either completely free education or concessional education.
Okay.
So we have this university right now, and in the northeastern states, we are working very much aggressively in terms of quality, in terms of area, in terms of number of students. We are the biggest.
Wonderful. So, do you also have foreign students coming to university yet?
Few, very few, maybe 2-3%.
Okay.
Because we don't have accommodation, so probably by next 1 or 2 years, we'll be coming up with the international hostel facility.
Okay.
Because the students from the abroad, they need communication.
Yes.
So communication, there is no problem.
Right.
Only 32 kilometers away, airport, Guwahati International Airport is there. Second, the facility these foreign students need a very class accommodation.
Right.
That accommodation we don't have, because whatever the fund we are generating from the student fees, we are mostly utilizing for the academic blocks, academic facilities, research facilities. So we got not give the emphasis on the building the hostels.
Right.
So if we get the hostel nicely, we will be able to attract the students, because being a grade university, we are eligible to start distance education program, we are eligible to get the foreign students. So after new education policy, lots of limitation has been given.
Right.
That only A grade university can entertain many such kind of global kind of activities.
Right.
One of them is the admitting the foreign students.
Right.
So we are working in this
So
direction.
you're also offering scholarships to students?
Yes, of course. We have many scholarships. Our university is people-centric university, and some people say it is a people's university.
Right.
Because the reason that in general people have a perception and that it's a private university, so it is not for the poor students. But here, principals, teachers, social workers, politicians, they all recommend the name of the brilliant students, including minister, chief minister, finance minister, all are recommending meritorious poor students to get free admission in our university.
Right.
So we give the publicity, we give the last date of the submission. So we always offer the various kind of scholarship, completely free education to the concessional education.
Right.
And we take the students from all communities.
From all communities.
All
so that is what is very, very important. Now, from what I can understand from what you tell me and what I've read about you, you have, you consider religion and education as, separately. You don't mix the two, which is quite apparent, it's quite obvious. Tell us about this philosophy, how important this is.
I don't find any conflict on it, because if we talk about religion, it is very much that some prescribed rules and regulation I have to implement, and it is very much individualistic. But education is something, it is required for all people, for all religious people. If somebody is religious, somebody is not religious, it is required. And if you enter in our university, you will have a feeling that it is one family. And many big people, including governor, they say that it is a mini India. We represent more than 36 community students in our campus.
Wonderful.
57% girl students. The parents, they consider it the safest campus. It is in the hillock. It is outskirts of the Guwahati and Shillong city.
Right.
But people consider it safe. So every student who wants to do their deliver their religious activity, it is free and open.
Right.
I have seen in our campus the students from various communities, they perform their religious activities, and there is no conflict.
Sure.
So we never talk about religion. We talk about that you become a man, a good human being, so that you can serve the society. And our university is becoming a catalyst to connect the society from irrespective of caste, creed and religion. And unity in diversity is one of our best. You can visit, you can see the example that university is nurturing this feature of our great nation.
That's amazing, and it reflects also in the faculty you have. That's truly remarkable. Now, tell us that this kind of culture which you talk about and which you have been successful in bringing up, now among the masses, how do we inculcate this kind of values where people understand that, okay, religious studies are important, but you need to go beyond to become a successful citizen, a person who can earn its livelihood and sustain the family. How do we bring about this awareness?
You see, there is no harm in religious education. Every religion, the teaching of any religion is always good.
Right.
But you see, that is the requirement. Whether it is a requirement. Tomorrow, if we feel that we have to start a comparative religious studies in our university, certainly we'll also start.
Right.
But the requirement for the growth of this nation, we have to give more importance on science and technology, innovation and all these things.
Right.
Being a science, you see, we can make a general university.
Right.
But we have given the name Science and Technology University,
Right.
which is required right now.
Right.
So we are working on that. I am a religious man. Apparently I am a looking somebody, if is not knowing that I am a chancellor, that everybody can say that he may be a someone who is running a mosque, who is the imam somewhere.
Right.
But my dress, my external feature is not giving any impact anywhere. Because what is my objective? What is my principle of life? And how we can making a bigger and bigger society, how our mindset on inclusivity.
Right.
Because being this great nation, India, the diversity, inclusivity must be the priority in all cases.
Right.
I was discussing that when people in our country have a mindset, mostly in general because of political environment, that before selecting something, we consider their somebody's religious background.
Right.
We never see the performance-oriented background, we never consider.
Right.
That's why a small children, for example, even my children, when they are small, they have seen many things, many story, and because of that, they are also growing with this kind of environment of person-wise, community-based this kind of priority.
Right.
But our university, we have developed the perception that it is a performance-oriented society.
Right.
So it may be a classroom, it may be a overall kind of activities. We have developed such kind of perception that let us build a society where performance gets the priority. Once performance is there, then I will not see that who is the person from which background, from which religious background, what he is doing personally.
Right.
So we have to develop such kind of culture in our in the whole country, and it is happening in the all Western countries.
Right.
You see, in the Western countries, you will find that mostly it is performance-centric priority given to the people.
Right.
Today, if I want to deliver in any of the courses, then I have to consider that there must be a very good teacher. So whether I have to select a very good teacher or I have to select a man who is having some caste background or some religious background. So I have to select a person who can teach nicely, who can give vision to our students, and who can excel.
Yes. Why I ask you this question is, especially we've seen among the masses and even among the middle class Muslim families, whenever somebody comes for asking for donations of money for setting up a school, people are hesitant. But whenever a person comes with a madrasa slip, they quickly give the money away. So this mindset, is there. So, how do we come up with such centers of excellence where we are all inclusive, we are mindful of the requirements of today, and we also become a good person?
You see, I have less idea on getting this thing. This is now is a vertical, you can say, this mindset of the people now it is changing.
Right.
Now many people I have seen, even the people who are running a madrasa, now they have come up with the modern institutions.
Right.
And they are also mobilizing fund for the modern education.
Right.
But we have to work, a very strong team, brilliant team can work in this philosophy. We have to create the awareness. The people who are collecting donations and running madrasa, or for example, I am an educated man, I have been running a university, I am also giving chanda to the madrasa because of some obligations.
Right.
So until unless this social stigma that this money is meant for this, if it is not removed, and that needs time, because it has been developed for years, that people have worked in this philosophy that whatever the money we are giving for the social cause, it must go to the madrasa, it must go to the masjid. So that for that purpose, the people like you, me, and we have to work together, and we have to change this culture, and we have to work for such kind of objective.
I'm sure there'll be many more people like you who genuinely interested in setting up a balance between religious studies and modern education, but perhaps they're unable to express the genuineness of their intent like you have done it. How did you go about it, winning people's trust of setting up this university?
You see, many people, lots of issues are there. You see, when one of the issue comes in the state or anywhere, it is because of political intervention. But still, I took this challenge positively.
Right.
I never said any negative comments on any political party or anywhere.
Right.
Whatever the energy has given by Allah Subhanahu and my passionate movement, so I did it. Many people, instead of giving necessary effort or the required effort, they start talking about negative things. And that's why it is not happening.
Right.
Otherwise, you see that where there is a will, there is a way.
Sure.
समाज में आप contribution करना चाहते हैं, you must be very passionate.
Right.
And you must have a vision.
Right.
When people have a vision, people become ready to overcome such kind of negative things. And we as a university, because whatever we have learned, it is from the experience, from the journey. We have not gone anywhere, and we have not come up with a financial background. We are not from the industry. We are not from political background. We are humble people.
Right.
We started our journey in a very humble way, and we learned from our journey.
Right.
So, on your question, I must say that any such organization who wants to come up with such kind of initiative, please start a humble journey first, and connect us. Whatever the experience, we are ready to offer such kind of services and collaborate. And we want to replicate such kind of institution everywhere in the nook and corner of the country. And another thing is that we have to provide this educational service to all communities, not specially to say that this is a minority institution, this is that institution. It will not help in any way to any institution to excel.
Right, truly commendable. Mahbubul Haque is not just an academician, entrepreneur, but also a motivator. Our country needs many more such people to create centers of education of excellence. His vision is what needs to be replicated if we wish to bring about a positive change in our community which could contribute to effective nation building. We wish Mahbubul Haque Saab all the best for his future ventures. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Very much for being in the studios.
Thank you for inviting me.